welcome to this week's What's for Dinner video. My name is Ashley. I'm going to be showing you 3 different meals I made this past week. I don't always follow recipes exactly, but if you're interested, I've linked some similar recipes down below. The first dinner I'm going to be showing you, I just made an easy chicken pesto pasta with rotini noodles. Pesto pasta is one of my fiance's favorite foods, so I always have to keep this in the dinner rotation. So I just started off by seasoning the chicken. I just used some garlic salt, some onion powder, and some Cajun seasoning. And then I just put a little bit of oil in a pan on medium heat. And I'm just going to cook the chicken until it's all the way cooked through. This is a super easy dinner we love, and it also makes great leftovers for a lunch the next day for him. He doesn't even have to warm it up, he can eat it cold. So for our side, I'm just going to do some broccoli. I just used whatever I had left in a bag. I'm not a huge fan of broccoli anyway. I just seasoned with some garlic salt, that Cajun seasoning, and some onion powder, and then I stuck this in the oven at about 350 degrees. So like I said, I just used some rotini noodles. I just boiled them like normal, and then I'm going to add everything into that one pot that I used to cook the noodles. I'm just adding this rana pesto and then adding the chicken and mixing it all together. So once it's all mixed together, I'm going to add my Parmesan cheese. I did use 1 full box of pasta, so I am using a lot of cheese. We love cheese. And then I am adding some Cajun seasoning. I love doing this to the pesto. It just kind of adds a lot of good flavor, and then everything is done. I just popped a piece of garlic bread in the oven for my fiance. This is how everything looked when it was done. Just a super easy meal, and it's so good. This next meal was my favorite of the week. These are cream cheese Southwest taquitos. So to start off, I just cooked 2 chicken breasts in my Instant Pot, and now I'm going to shred them up. I seasoned with some cumin, some taco seasoning, some onion powder, and some garlic salt. I just shred my chicken the old-fashioned way with just 2 forks. I do have a hand mixer that I do want to try shredding with. So next I am adding the filling. I'm just adding 1 full block of cream cheese. This melts as I kind of mix it together because the chicken is nice and hot. I literally kept eating the chicken just like this. This tasted so good. I feel like you can make a dip with this chicken, like a Mexican dip. Maybe put some cheese on top, some green chilies. I am just adding some cumin and some onion powder. So I just got my whole assembly line ready. I warmed up some tortillas in the microwave, and now I'm just going to start rolling them. These are super messy, so I will be using my hands. I am just going to add some of the chicken mixture, some corn and black beans that I warmed up in the microwave, and then some shredded cheese. So I'm just going to do this for each taquito. They do start to crack a little bit. I think I have kind of older tortillas, but they still worked out just fine. I also don't use the toothpick method where you shove it in to keep it together. If you just place these seam side down on a plate and then place them seam side down in the oil, they will stay closed. I am a taquito fiend though. Taquitos are my favorite food that I make for sure. So I just had some oil in a pan heating up. I don't know exactly how much, just enough to kind of cook them on the one side. And then I will place the taquitos seam side down in the oil till they fry closed. Once they are nice and golden brown on the one side, you can go ahead and flip them. You can kind of cook them to your desired crunchiness. I wish I kind of cooked these a little bit more. I do like them super crunchy. My fiance actually likes his a little bit more soft. If you're wondering how we eat stuff like this during the weekday, portion size is the biggest factor in anything that you eat. I only eat 3 of these, and then my fiance had 5 of these. We also didn't have any sides, so that is how we kind of portion everything. He also works a hard labor job, so I want to make sure he's nice and fed. This is how his plate looked when it was done. I just topped it with some lettuce, some queso fresco, and some salsa. This next dinner is called $1 Million Chicken. This idea idea I did get from Pinterest, so that is linked down below. So I'm gonna start out with my potatoes. I just decided to roast some potatoes. So I just cut them into small cubes, like 1-inch pieces, and I am just tossing them with a little bit of oil. So I am going to season the potatoes with some garlic salt, some onion powder, and some garlic and herb seasoning from McCormick. So I'm just going to toss everything together, make sure all the potatoes are nice and coated, and then I'm going to put these on a pan. These will go in the oven at about 375 degrees till they are nice and brown. I love this method for cooking potatoes. It's such an easy way to make a side of potatoes. So next is cooking the bacon. I just chopped up a couple slices of bacon. I'm not even sure how much, maybe 3 or 4 slices. I could be wrong. So I am just going to cook this on the stove top until it is all the way cooked through. This will top the chicken when it's done. I think I use my pan way too much. This is my largest pan, and I think the non-stick coating is like no longer working kind of whenever I use it. A lot of things are starting to stick. Bacon also releases its own grease, so you don't even have to grease the pan when you're cooking bacon. So once the bacon was done, I started on the mixture for the chicken. On top of the chicken, I think this is about half of a block of cream cheese, some bacon, some green onions, and the cheddar cheese on top. I did have to put it in the microwave to make it nice and soft and pliable. So the next step is to bread the chicken. I am just using some Italian breadcrumbs. I am just going to season the chicken lightly with this garlic and herb seasoning. It is important to season your chicken as well. So I am just going to bread the chicken. I am dipping the chicken in the egg wash. I just mixed 1 egg with a little bit of milk. I didn't need 2 full eggs. And then I am just going to toss them into the breadcrumbs and make sure every part is nice and coated. So I am just going to do this for both pieces of chicken. I did cut 1 chicken breast in half. So this is just 1 full chicken breast butterflied, and then I'm just going to put it in the pan. We are not going to be frying this today, folks. We are just going to bake this in the oven. So next I am going to put the mixture on top. Again, this is just the mixture of cream cheese, bacon, green onions, and some cheddar cheese. I'm just going to use all of the mixture and put it on both pieces. So then I am just going to top the chicken with a little bit of that cheddar cheese. I do have a couple pieces left of the bacon crumbles that you do throw on top when it's just about done. This just went in the oven at about 375 degrees. This is how everything looks when it was done. It was so good. Thank you so much for watching this week's What's for Dinner video. Make sure you come back next week for another one.